Hi, this is Mr. West, and today we're doing a tutorial video on multiplying by 12. This, of course, is from mathdrills.com. Make sure to check out mathdrills.com. There's a link in the description below. There's tons of great resources on their website. I have a special playlist for their content on mine, but today we are doing multiplying by 12, and I'm going to be honest, this is the toughest of all the multiplication tables, 1 through 12. So what I would recommend doing is before you jump into trying to practice, I would do this, which is writing out the multiples 1 through 12 of 12. So as you can see here, we have 1 times 12 is 12. Let me get my pointer. 2 times 12 is 24. Times 3 is 36. Times 4 is 48, and so on. So I have it all the way through 12. Now, there's not a lot of easy patterns to recognize with 12s, but I will point out a few things. Number one, you'll notice in the ones place, well, if we'd multiplied by 0, it'd be 0, but it would go 2, 4, 6, 8, 0. 2, 4, 6, 8, 0. So they're all even, number one, and it follows that pattern. 0, 2, 4, 6, 8, 0. So if you're multiplying by 12 and you get an odd number, you know you goofed up somehow. So make sure you try to see if, that pattern might be useful for you for determining if you made the correct calculation or not. Other than that, there's not a lot of useful tips. I will highlight a few of the multiples that kind of stick out. So 12 times 5 is 60. This is your one that ends in 0, other than 12 times 10. 12 times 10 is just going to follow your 10 rule, which is add a 0 to the number you're multiplying by. So if you're 12 times 10, all you do is add a 0 to 12, and it becomes 120. So that's another one that's fairly easy, but the rest of them are pretty difficult. I'm going to be quite honest. It's going to require some memorization. You just working with it a lot. So I would recommend printing out multiple of these worksheets, going through the whole thing, and then just going from a blank sheet, again, do the same thing, fill out this worksheet again. So 12 times 5 is 60, 12 times 10, 120. You're also going to need 12 times 12, that's 144, that's your perfect square. But the rest are fairly difficult to memorize. 12 times 2, got to know that one. You just double up the 1 and the 2 to get, so double up the 1, you get 2, double up the 2, you get 4. Same thing with the 1 times 3, you're just going to triple the 1. So if you do 1 times 3, you get 3. 12 times 3, you get 6. And that works up until 4. So up until 4, you can kind of just double or triple or quadruple the ones place in the twos place to get that. But then from 5, it doesn't really follow that pattern anymore, at least very apparently. So I'm just going to go through a couple. Unfortunately, with all the 12s, you're going to have to use the standard algorithm. So if you don't know your 1 through 9 multiplication tables, then you're really going to struggle with 12. Because what we're doing here initially is the standard algorithm. 8 times 2, well, that's 16. Carry the 1. 8 times 1 is 8, plus 9 is 96. So that's how that works. This one, of course, we just double up. Okay, 12 times 5, we're going to do 5 times 2 is 10. Carry the 1, and then with 5 times 1, 5, plus 1 is 60. So you could use the standard algorithm, but again, it's very important that you know your 1 through 9 multiplication table pretty fluently before you move on to this. Anytime you multiply by 12 times 11 or 12 times 12, it's going to be an additional step because you have to go to the tens place. So 2 times 1 is 2, times 1 is 1. Put down the 0 for the tens place. 1 times 2 is 2, and then 1, and then you have to add. So these are a little bit more involved. You get 132 for that one, and then let's go to 12 times 12. 2 times 2, 4, and then 2. Carry the 0, 2, and then 1. So 4, 4, and 1, 144. As you can see, again, a lot of work. There's a big payoff, though, if you multiply all of these and understand them. I would really encourage lots of practice. That's kind of the only way around it. There's no quick fixes for this. If you have any questions on this, make sure to leave a comment. If you have any other mathematical questions, leave a comment. I'll be happy to make a video for you. And I look forward to seeing you next time right here on West Explains Best.